here. Welcome. Today you're going to need a chair or a bench like I have here, as well as a set of weights. That's going to be up to you. You may want a set of light weights based on the exercise that we're doing, your ability level, and even maybe your goals too, if you want endurance or to gain some strength. We're going to begin with some movement prep. Place the hands on the tummy. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open the lungs. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Feel the core get rigid at the bottom. Here's what it looks like from the side. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Open the lungs. Exhale. Feel the core engage as you slowly let air out. Again, inhale. See the posture here. The joints are nice and stacked. And as you let air out, feel that core get rigid. Again, inhale. Deep breath in, hold. Slowly exhale. Feel that core engage as you exhale. Well done. Let's move on to chest openers. Inhale, open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades back as you inhale and spread the hands apart. Here we're just activating those back muscles, again, important for posture and kind of actively stretching our chest. Try to get that breathing under control. That's going to help you stay safe in the trunk region, good source of support. It's also great for your posture. So inhale, exhale there. Okay, we're going to move on to balance reach. Nice job there. Here's a demonstration. Jump in with me on the next one. Reach. Stand and pull the knee through. This one's really relies heavily, I should say, on your trunk being engaged, which is why we started with diaphragm breathing. So try to use what you learned in the diaphragm breath here. Deep breath in, hold the air in, reach, staying rigid. Slowly exhale, keeping the core tight as you pull the knee through. Rigid core, reach, follow through. The best thing you can do is A, take your time. B, don't mind how far you reach towards the floor. Don't care as much about that. C, try to keep a nice straight line from your shoulder to your foot. And D, engage the trunk specifically through that diaphragm breathing. That's a lot to remember, so let's review it on the other side. Hold that air in, nice tight trunk, reach, keeping straight lines as much as possible. Extend, nice straight line. See how I'm not breaking at my hip there. I'm going at my pace, building stability in the ankle and foot, as well as the hip and knee. Throwing a lot at you guys today, so hang in there with me. If you're struggling right now, try to tap into that trunk and engage that core. Knit your abdominals together. And that's a great thing to keep in mind as we progress through the workouts, why this is a great movement prep exercise. I'll touch on the fact that I'm barefoot. You might choose to have shoes on here. I prefer to be barefoot whenever possible to help strengthen the muscles in my feet. And that's appropriate for me, and that might not be true for you. So be sure to throw shoes on if you're feeling like that's a safer, wise option. All right, well done on those single leg reaches. Okay, level 1 is a split lunge. So it's basically a lunge that doesn't travel. Level 2, we're going to do that with weight. So the back foot stays on the ground. I'm going to put the weights up at my shoulder. Here's that split lunge again. Notice how my shoulders, hips, and back knee are all stacked at the bottom of this movement. Everything's aligned there. Okay, and level 3 I'll demonstrate. After I show you all of these, then you guys can jump in on the repetition that you like. So this is all demonstration, don't worry about trying to keep up here. Just watch and get a feel for which one's best for you. This is a rear foot elevated split lunge here. And the weights are in my hands. I'm still dropping that back knee in. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do 10 reps, your choice, level 1, 2, or 3. I'm gonna stick with level 3. But you're just repping out whatever level is best for you. We're about halfway here. Try to keep the shoulders back and the joints stacked as much as you can in any of the versions. Try trying to give you the best angle here, which is why I'm slightly diagonal, so don't feel like you have to go diagonal here. It doesn't really matter a whole ton, but just to give you a good angle there. Well done. Let's switch sides. Again, level 1 is no weight, both feet on the ground. Level 2 is both feet on the ground with weight. Level 3 is the back foot elevated with weight. You may also try back foot elevated without weight. There's a lot of ways you can make this exercise your own. Very good. We're almost there, so stick with me here. Again, keeping that trunk rigid and the shoulders back will serve you well here. Exhale as you come up. Well done. All right, we're gonna do an overhead press now, so take a seat. I'm gonna show you from the side so you can see my posture here. I'm gonna exhale as I press up. Touch those weights together, squeeze the biceps to the ears. There's 3 of 12. Exhale as you push those weights up. Giving those legs a little break while we work the shoulders. So the seated position should help you think about your posture, so really plug into the shoulders over hips, the breathing, and the rigid core. Your shoulders are slightly isolated when we take this movement seated, so really focusing on the shoulders there. Good job. Okay, we're gonna go back to the split lunges. Level 1 on the ground, level 2 on the ground with weight, level 3 rear foot elevated, and we're doing 10 per side, and we're jumping right into it. You saw plenty of demonstrations, and this is set number 2, so get going on whatever exercise level you feel is appropriate for you. Give me a few more here. Exhale as you come up out of the lunge. Keep that back foot glued in place, and we are hinging. That back knee is hinging to a 90-degree angle in all levels. So think about that. Hinge the back knee. Switch sides, and we're gonna do the same thing. Here we go. Training quads and glutes a lot on this one. And even level 1, this is a great balance exercise. So some of you might be struggling with balance. That is normal. Try to breathe through it using that diaphragm breath. Legs and shoulders on deck today, as you saw in the title. So I'm really gonna work the quads, glutes, and shoulders today. A little bit of core worked in today as well, especially even on this one, we have to be rigid through our core to maintain balance. All right, well done. Let's head on over to seated shoulder press. Here you get a front angle on set 2. Same thing, going to 12. Exhale, push overhead. Inhale, bring it down. Very good. You look strong, so try to have some confidence here. Even if you're not using dumbbells, I didn't talk about that in the warm-up, you can use other resistance items. All you need is something to provide some resistance. So hopefully you're at home getting creative with the equipment that you have. A few more reps. I believe we have 2 more. Excellent job. Fantastic. Up next, we're going to do a dumbbell front squat. Feet shoulder width apart. Stack the joints. Deep breath in before beginning. Keep the air in, lower down. Exhale, come up. Inhale, tight core. Exhale, stand. From the front, here's what it looks like. Inhale, tight core. Exhale, stand. You're really pulling down with the hip flexors here. Now that bench is right behind me, and I'm just kind of tapping it with my glutes when I come down to the bottom. To me, that helps give me a little target. It's just above parallel, so the depth is not quite the deepest squat I've ever done. Again, we're kind of working to train the quads and the glutes with some resistance, so as long as you're getting to close to parallel, that's what I'm looking for. If you want to take the weights out and work for below parallel squat, you are welcome to, in which case you would step away from the bench. All right, well done. Our next exercise is upright row. Here's an example, so just follow along with me here. We're gonna bring the calf raise in once we get the elbows up to shoulders. There we go. And we're gonna go up. Here we go. You can jump in here, up onto the toes, working ankle extension. Pull the elbows up. Here's what it looks like from the side. You lift the elbows and the weights as you go onto the toes. So kind of another 2-for-1 here. Upright row with calf raise. Let the legs rest a little bit from the squats, and we'll get involved with those again. If you've noticed today, I've really relied on supersets. So we're going to go right back to those front squats. I'm going to show you from the side here. Now, my bench allows me to elevate my heels, which is another fun trick to do when you're working on your squat technique. So notice that my knees don't travel forward, but I'm able to get a nice low. This is actually pretty close to a parallel squat now. And again, it's a lot of factors when we talk about a squat. We want to get the right depth while maintaining good posture and good mechanics. So to me, this is exactly what I need as an endurance athlete is this type of squat. If you're just getting into exercise, this is a great, safe way to learn how to squat. You can always progress from here, either deeper or heavier, etc. Just toning up the quads and the glutes. Very good. Front squat there. We're going to do those upright rows with calf raise again. Here we go. Working those shoulders. It's good to exhale as you pull the weights up or go punch the toes. Again, muscles we're really targeting today are legs and shoulders. So I'm relying on that superset tactic, keeping the rest time pretty low, but working an alternative muscle group in the meantime. So it's kind of like an active rest, if you will. So we're going to get a lot of exercises in our 26.5 minutes together today. That's why I'm able to fit so many things, a great functional workout in such a small amount of time, is that superset technique. Okay, very good. Awesome job on those upright rows. Next, we're going to do a tricky one, a rotation lunge. So I'm opening up here, pivoting the back foot, touching the weight down, rotating back, and punching across. This is a tough one. I'm going to go through 3 reps slow. Here's the second demonstration, so kind of just work in with me here. Rotate over my shoulder, come back, punch across. Last one, nice and slow for you. Open up over your right shoulder, touch your right weight down, rotate back to standing, punch across. All right, here's real time. We're going to do 6 at real time now. So just 6 reps, follow along. You can do this without weight if you'd like to, just to touch and do all this body weight. Open up, place that foot 180 degrees back, touch the weight down, step together, punch across. Almost there. Really functional exercise. This works in the rotation plane, legs, core, and arms. So I love this movement. Last one here on the side. Touch down, lunge down, come on back. Great job. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'll start with 3 slow reps, kind of as a demonstration. Open over the left shoulder, pivot, touch the weight down, pivot back, punch across. Here I go again. So I'm going to look over my left shoulder, pivot the right foot, touch down, pivot back, punch across. Last one, nice and slow. Rotate, pivot, lunge and touch, pivot back, punch across. Okay, I'm going to challenge you now. 6 at real time. And if it gets overwhelming, you can just do lunges in place. You don't have to do the rotation version. All right, I wanted to throw something functional and challenging. Something that would protect you if you have to say, reach back behind you and grab something. That's a way a lot of people get injured. This is great for a lot of different athletes or just your everyday mom and pop exercisers, I like to call it. Reaching down, maybe grabbing your kiddo in a quick situation. Maybe you're in the Costco parking lot. Last one here, rotation lunge touch, rotate back, punch across. And that one again is great for your legs, arms, and core. All right, we're gonna do a second set now. While it's fresh in your brain, that's got so much coordination, I'm just gonna do our second set right away again. Touch, step together, punch. We're gonna do 3 reps slow. So here's number 2, nice and slow, so you can watch my mechanics. Punch across, rotate step, pivot, touch, pivot back, punch across the body. There's the rotation lunge and the rotation punch. And all this rotating, like especially in that rotation punch, is really good for your core, really good for your brain, you know, having to sort through all those different things happening, the turning, posture. It's a really, really nice exercise if you kind of just commit to learning it. So stay with me here, guys. Rotate, touch, punch across. Well done. Last set of these, take a deep breath if you're hanging in there with me. Rotate, touch, pivot back, rotation punch. 2 more, nice and slow. You're getting the hang of these, I can tell. Stay with me. When you get frustrated, deep breath, smile. At least you're trying something new and not thinking about the things going on in the world right now. This is something to distract your mind, if you will. A little venting from work, so just have fun with it. 6 at real time. Very good. Training the core, the legs, the quads, the ankles, the upper body. Love this one. So good for you. Well done. We're over halfway through our workout, and we're almost done with these tricky rotation ones to rotation punches. There you go. Have some fun out there. You're doing great. Perfect. Thanks for working hard on those and sorting through them. Our next exercise is a seated lateral raise. So take a seat on the bench, raise the weights to the side with a soft elbow, and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Try to keep the shoulders back. The last thing I want is you really leading into this exercise as you bring the weights down. So be controlled, deep breath. Just get your way through these. These are great for toning the shoulders. Okay, and now we're gonna move into a narrow squat while the shoulders breathe. Take a rest. Touch the butt down, feet are as close as you can together, weights front loaded. I know it's our second form of squats today, but our whole focus is legs and shoulders today, so you're gonna get a lot of these types of movements. Well done, we're almost there. We're doing 3 sets of 10 seated lateral raises to narrow squats. I'm doing 10 repetitions of each. While the legs rest, I'm gonna go back to shoulders. So again, keep the shoulders over the hips and lift those weights. All I need is shoulder height, and you can have a soft elbow here, a little less than 90 degrees. I would say maybe a 15-degree bend in your elbows. This is where you might want a lighter weight. Toning those shoulders, resting the legs, getting to 10 reps. You can do it. Very good. Front load the weights, feet together, tap the glutes down to the chair you were just sitting on. 10 narrow front squats. And you can see why I love this superset. It's really effective. Great for spot training the shoulders and legs. You can really focus on one muscle group at a time while the other rests. You just finished that really functional lunge circuit. And now we're just working to kind of increase our muscle tone and strength. Okay, well done. Back down, and let's just grit through this next set of lateral raises. You can do it. If you need to lighten the weights, or even just grab some water bottles and do this with water bottles, that's just fine. Be strong. Try to really maintain those shoulders over hips position and avoid bending the elbows too much. Keep those elbows soft, if you will. Well done. Smiles when we're finished with that one. Narrow front squat. Let's finish those legs off. Stay with me now, guys. Come on, let's work those glutes and those quads. Tap the glutes to the bench so you're checking on your form, keeping those shoulders back. This is a safe way to get strong, especially after we tried those funky lunges. You've got a full mix of isolated and dynamic exercises today, so I'm excited for you to enjoy this series. Awesome work. Well done. Weights down. I'm going to rearrange this little area here so you can see me a little better. I know I'm working in a tight space here, so if you don't have a mat, you can grab one now. If you're already set to go, you've got a mat, or maybe you're working on carpet and you don't need one, just grab some water here. Rest a little bit. You've worked pretty darn hard so far today. We've done a lot. So just like I've been doing today, I'm going to show you a few levels. So just kind of watch these first ones. Here's level 1. Then you can decide we'll do our reps together. And just keeping your hips down, that's a really important piece. Knees shoulder width apart. You're just going to raise one arm up at a time. Okay, level 2, same thing, but now we're feet again nice and wide, and as little rotation through the hips as you can. Pull the arm up. Okay, so maybe you like one of those two. Maybe you're like, no, I'd like a harder version. Level 3, you're gonna have weights in hand as you pull up. I'm still demonstrating here, so if you're like overwhelmed about which one to choose, just think about which one's best for you. We're gonna do 12 reps together, 12 total. Here we go. So level 1, kneeling. Level 2, full. Level 3, full with weights. And And this one's great for building stability in your core, working rotation, and training our back muscles, our upper back and shoulder joint there. So really ties into our shoulders and legs workout well. Hitting that core hard. You can do it, guys. Awesome job. Having your feet or knees spread apart wide is helpful on that. All right, my favorite, seated hip rotation. So bring your feet either close or farther away from you, depending on how mobile you are. And we're just gonna work some rotation through that hip joint. Keep your feet at one spot and rotate. Lift the knees, lay them down to the other side, swiveling through your hip joint, increasing that mobility, increasing that range of motion. You may try this with your arms overhead if this is too easy, but really it's a mobility drill, so it doesn't need to be super hard. If you're really struggling at home, try sliding your heels a little further away from you on the next set. All right, 12 plank pulls, we're jumping right in. Sorry, here we go. Going to 12, there's number 4, there's 5. You might be on your knees on this one, you might be in a full plank without weight, training our core, shoulder joint, back muscles, a little bit in the glutes, keep them tight. Well done. Ready to fire that core up. Again, seated hip rotations now. Just pivoting through that hip joint. You're doing awesome. Slowly winding down our workout here, getting that core fired up to finish. Legs should feel good, shoulders should feel tired, and your core should have been activated from the very beginning, and we're just kind of following it up with some core toning here at the end. Oh, I believe I grabbed some water there. There you go. So if you need some water, there's the chance to get it. Okay, half kneeling chop, level 1. You're just going to do it body weight. So one knee in front, rotate, squeeze the core. Level 2, you're going to grab a weight. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do 10 together. So let's get that going right here. Lift up, chop down. Think about kind of slowing the weight down as you bring it towards your hip. A few more, 10 total. Not including that first one for demo. Good, switch sides. You might still be doing this one with just body weight, that's fine. Lift up and over, chop down. Lift up and over, chop down, squeezing the glutes, slowing that weight down as it approaches your hip so gravity doesn't do the work for your core. This works those oblique muscles, those deeper core muscles. That rotation plane, very good. And we're just gonna stretch the hips out now. 10 to 15 seconds per side. Take a couple deep breaths here. We are going to do those rotation chops again, just a moment. You can do level 1 with just your hands or level 2 with weight like I showed. I'm using power block weights here. You might have something different at home and you know the grip might be a little different for that, but the concept is the same. Stretching out those hips, lengthening those hip flexors, which we worked very hard today with all those squats and lunges. So make sure we're taking care of those hips, keeping them loose and open while we build our strength. An important thing to keep in mind, an important contrast. All right, here we go. 10 half kneeling chops. Really turn those shoulders and squeeze those glutes. There's a lot happening here. And we're all smiles because we are less than 3 minutes from our finish line. So stay with me here. You're doing great. You've learned a lot today. You've worked functionally. You've isolated the legs and shoulders at different times. Switch sides. You've really got your core going here at the end and all throughout the workout. It's amazing how you have to use your core in anything, even like a squat. Even if you're not doing a crunch, for example, you're still using your core a lot as your support system. That's its primary function as the trunk. So here we're really giving it some love to finish. Rotating strong, well done. And let's get that hip stretch in. Great time to reflect on maybe an exercise you struggled with or an exercise you really exceeded at, maybe one you loved, one you hated. Because hopefully you try this workout again and you notice how strong you've gotten or more coordinated you've gotten. Switch sides. I would recommend repeating workouts occasionally. It's really helpful to track your progress that way. Even if you feel stronger, but use the same weight, or maybe you want to try slightly heavier weight next time, if you have access to it. All right, we're going to finish with one of my favorite exercises. Just to, again, open up those hips and spine. Lift your hips, reach up and over a diagonal reach, bring it all back down. Lift your hips and then slide over to the other shoulder. So you're literally rolling onto your shoulder as you drive your hips. And this, again, activates your glutes, stretches your spine out. So it's good for your posture. If you've been sitting all day, this is a great go-to move for you. Drive the hips, reach up and over. Great one to tone the core and glutes. You've noticed I've worked in a lot of rotation movement. That's because as a physio, I've noticed a lot of people get hurt doing rotational movements in everyday life. So our workouts should reflect that and train us so we don't get hurt doing that. We're almost there. We're just doing one set of 20 to finish. A great exercise to doggy ear and do whenever you're feeling tight, because this one really opens things up well as giving you good glutes and a good core. So why not, right? There you go. Roll onto that shoulder and reach. You might feel yourself sliding up or down a little bit. That's fine. And we're going to finish it with a forward bend. Just stretch out that lower back. Stretch out the hammies and the glutes. You guys did great today. I'm really proud of you for trying some new stuff. Threw a lot at you in just 26 minutes. We didn't rest much. We used the supersets. We had fun. We got the legs and shoulders going. Thank you again for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. You did great. Again, reminder to hit subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest videos, and visit our website, www.kawokacoaching.com, for recipes, wellness blogs, and more.